It's high-speed sync season, and here's why I normally don't use it. First off and foremost, I don't want to lose the power of this, okay? Taking this down to half, if not more, because you're in high-speed sync mode, it just defeats the purpose of having this flash. It's a stress on the flash itself. The second thing is banding. Believe me, it's real, it exists. High-speed sync banding happens. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it's so faint you can't see it. But man, if you're shooting a client that's paying for your services that doesn't have time to come back and reshoot because you have a banding issue, it's a problem for me. So rather than using high-speed sync and rolling the dice, I just shoot at my regular camera shutter speed, sync speed, and use this as a normal flash. That works for me. Now, this shoot today that we're doing is almost midday. We were supposed to shoot earlier in the day, which would have been a little bit better, but she got delayed. It's not like she can change her schedule. We have to do what we have to do. So we're going to be shooting at almost midday. It's going to be tough to combat the shadows, not compete with the sun, but combat the shadows in the photos. I'm using the Profoto B10. You could be using your Godox 600 or your Elinchrom. It doesn't matter. I'm using the 30-inch pop-up softbox now that they have for Profoto. These are kind of nice, and this makes it easy to carry. And I'm using the Manfrotto stands. I have these I love these stands. They're heavy, but they're really good, and they fold flat. They're really nice stands. Anyway, so now I could use an ND filter. I have them, and believe me, I went through so many ND filters, just trial and error kind of stuff. And I didn't like any of them. The closest one that I like that doesn't create too much of a color cast, it's actually pretty decent, is the Freewell version 2. I like this. The magnet part of it is a gimmick. It's bullshit. But this is their best ND filter, I think, in my personal opinion. But I don't use it that often. Why? Because I don't like that look. Anyway, so I'm going to use this at my camera shutter speed, that Leica, which is 1/80th of a second. And I'm going to stop down the lens. Now, if I'm stopping down the lens, I still want that blur in the background. So that's when I'm going to go to a longer lens versus my 50 that I normally use. And I don't want too much post-production in this. So I'm going to use the 90 Elmarit. The Leica 90 Elmarit, this is a really beautiful lens that's more or less forgotten because it's not an f2 or it's not an Apo. But this lens is absolutely stunning for people. It's like a CD versus vinyl. You still get that great music. You can still hear the crisp sounds, but it has a warmth to it. And that's what this lens gives me. I get sharpness, but it has a warmth to it. It's not like that clinically sharp, that digitally sharp image. That's why I love this lens so much. I use this for regular clients. Commercial, I have to use the Apos. They want that clinically crap. And I get it because, whether it's clothing or something like that, they need it. But for clients, this is spectacular. It's just a beautiful rendering lens. And I can stop this down to f4 at 5.6 at 90 millimeter and still get separation because it's at 90 millimeter. I'm not a fan of compression like that, but sometimes I need to be because of the situation that we're in today. I don't want to use high-speed sync. I want a little bit of separation blur. This is going to give it to me without having to worry about shooting at high-speed sync and stopping down to f2 or 1.4 or whatever lens you would use for that. Anyway, so let's get into the shoot versus talking anymore and see how we did this. It was a fun shoot. My camera work wasn't the best, but it's there. And if you have any questions, leave them below. Thanks for watching as always. First, I want to apologize for my camera work. It's not the best today. So first flash shot out of camera, you can see this is flash. It's blatant. It's terrible. I hate it. But you got to try and it's a starting point. So the next one, I'm going to dial that flash way back. I'm going to open up just a little bit, because I really don't want to compete with the sun like that. I just want a natural look. So I'm a little bit more natural here, but I need more flash because she is in such shadow in comparison to the light you see around her. There's a major difference. So I got somewhat of a happy balance here. I'm staying in the direction of the light. Always have your flash in the direction of the light when possible. Sometimes you just can't because of the angles. Like I couldn't use that factory as an angle for a shot. So, if the sun was going in the wrong direction, I would be kind of, shit out of luck. But, try to keep your light in the same direction as the natural light so it doesn't look odd or awkward. Again, like this here, I can't keep it in the same direction because I need the light behind her. So I'm just going to fill as natural as possible and make it not look like flash. Now, I did an okay job with this. It's not perfect. Now, the client was completely happy with the photos. But as a photographer, I look at them and I go, okay, what can I do better next time? Where could I have positioned the light better next time? And, for me, it would have been, that light should have been on the opposite side to get the best look out of this and making it look natural. So she wanted underneath the tree. I knew this was going to be the same scenario as the first shot. It's going to take a while to get where I want to be. And you'll see in this first shot, it just looks like flat, straight flash lighting. And I want natural, and this is not going to give me natural. So, here it is. It's flat. It looks like there's a flash in her face. It's dark. It's just not my cup of tea. So I'm going to move this flash. This is where the worst video comes in. I apologize. I just didn't move it. It won't be long, but it's a nice view of random garages. Anyway, so this is a lot better. It looks a little bit better for me. Again, it's still unnatural because of that light coming from the wrong direction. You could see where the shadows are falling. So why would light be coming from the opposite side of a shadow? You have to do what you have to do sometimes. Now, moving it over to the same side as the light, it's better. It's, it is a broad lighting on her face, which didn't bother me that much. I do like the look of the photo. It's a little bit more natural. But, keep an eye on that. Make sure, whenever possible, make sure that light is coming in the same direction as the sunlight to be a little bit more natural when you can. Like I said, obviously, there's some times where you just can't do it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the shoot. If you have any questions, leave them below. I was happy to show you my mistakes as well as my good shots in this one. But when the bottom line, the client loved the photos, and that's the bottom line always. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great day.